So I'm gonna pull up here these leads that you guys have submitted. By the way, if you're in the coaching community and you're in the Zoom room, you can still submit your leads. We're gonna be calling a few leads today and doing our best to get somebody on the phone. And then in addition to that, I have something I think is gonna be very powerful for you. I want to give you guys three nuggets, three writer downers. I'm going to be taking a poll here in a moment and pause for a couple chats after hopefully we get somebody on the phone here.
Quick question. What is FinCEN?
Yes.
Can you elaborate?
Yes. FinCEN is a reporting act. Just Google it, look it up, and talk to your real estate attorney. But in short, it's a financial reporting act. It's a new law that is now being enforced as of March 1st that requires more reporting when you buy a property. So basically, as real estate investors, expect longer close times and probably a few more closing fees. But we do it joyfully because anytime the government does something, it's always a good thing, right? As my grandpa Slag would say, anytime somebody did something he don't like, he'd say, well, they meant well. All right, this is Jane's.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected.
This is Jane's lead, or it was going to be Jane's lead on Peddler's Run Road. Oh, Roofer Avenue, my bad. All right, we're going to try it again. Jane, I'll need you to resubmit this lead if you're in the house. I'll need you to resubmit this lead with a corrected number. Apparently, the number you gave me is invalid. I'm going to guess the area code, though, and we're going to try again. Hey, there we go.
Hello.
Hey, Diane, it's Andrew calling you back on the house you was looking to sell. How are you?
Hey, I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
You calling about those properties of Jane?
I am. Did I catch you at a good time?
It's pretty good, but Franklin's not here right now.
Okay. Well, can you tell me about the properties, or is Franklin the main one to know about them? Hello?
Are you there?
Yeah, I said, can you tell me about the properties and answer a couple of my questions, or do we need to wait for Franklin to be there?
Well, I can give you some information, and when he gets here, I can look at your phone number on our caller ID and have him return the call
That's
if you'd like.
perfect. So my understanding is there is three properties, right?
Right.
Okay. And how much are you asking for all three together?
Um, I don't know what he was going to ask for all three of them together.
Do you
We
have the
got-
individual prices?
Well, not on one, 3380.
Yeah.
We had stripped it, took the carpet up, the vinyl, and was fixing to put a new roof on it and everything. So I don't know. My daughter's taking care of that. Me and my husband were in our early 80s. And so we're not doing that much anymore. But let's see, that's 3380 is inside the Plantation subdivision.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. And I don't know what size the lot is. But like I said, it up right now, and it is listed with a real estate agent. I'm not sure the name of the company. I can find out from Franklin what the name of the company is, but it's not ready. She just kind of took it off the market for the time being until we got it fixed up.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't want anybody to see it the way it was right then, with no carpet, the roof being tore off, and other things.
So I have in my notes that you was asking 200 for that one. Does that sound right?
No, I think that is the point acre
Got
that
it.
doesn't have a house on it. It's potential commercial,
Got it.
and yeah, it's just land.
Okay. And then what are you asking 13,000 for? That's what's that? I see 13,000 here in my notes.
I have no idea.
All right. All right. I've Jane to update the notes. So you have three properties. You were asking 200 for the commercial land. You don't know the price on the other two.
The one that's owned is 2200 Village. I think he was asking 425 for that one.
Mhm.
It's a corner lot right there on Salem Road,
Yep.
and it's going to have a red light right there. So it's a potential commercial. We just hadn't filled out the paperwork to go up there and get it turned into a commercial lot. And the other one is 3380 subdivision.
I got that one.
I'll have to check with him to find out what he was asking for that.
And then did I understand right that you guys are open, if we could work out all the details, to maybe do an owner financing if it helps with your taxes?
I don't think so. Like I said, my husband's 81 years old, and he's just wanting to dissolve his company, AFJ Builders.
Yep.
And our accountant, he showed us that we had to get rid of all our properties to dissolve it because it is a corporation.
Yep.
And to do that, we got to get rid of owner financing, and we got to get rid of the other properties that we own.
Okay. Well, this may be a Franklin question or maybe you. So we buy houses two ways. We either pay cash, and in that case, we want a big discount. We can do that, but we'd want a big discount off of what they would appraise for, or we would buy them on financing closer to what you're asking, but it would, pay you out over a certain agreed time. Is either of those options for you, or are we going down the wrong rabbit trail?
I have no idea. I'll be
right.
glad to have Frank call you. You said
Perfect.
it was Andrew?
Yeah, it's Andrew. Just have Frank call back Jane if you still got her number there. And
Well, he's kind of hard of hearing,
okay,
and Jane talks very low and soft.
I'll tell her to speak up. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, when he gets back, have him give Jane a ring, and those would be the facts that I want to find out, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate you. So good talking to you. All right. Bye for now. All right. So Jane, make sure you get back in touch with Diane and Frank and dig in deeper on these facts. You need to know how much is owed on them. If there is a debt, sounds like she doesn't know a lot of the questions. You need to know if they'll take owner financing, and you need to know if they will, the price they'll take. So it comes back down to the same underwriting. And that's something I want to talk about today. And I'm going to point out to you guys, and we'll get to any more questions you have as well. But before time is up today, I want to point out where a lot of people get stuck. I'm going to talk about the three places where most people get stuck, which is number one, how do I know if this is actually a good deal? And how do I know when I'm forcing it, when I'm forcing what's a crappy deal? And then what do you say when the seller says no? That last call, of course, was obviously not the decision maker, at least not the person who had all the facts. So we got to wait till we get a decision maker on the phone, which, by the way, is a writer downer. And then I'm going to talk to us before the day's up about how to never get jammed up on a deal because you don't got the capital. All right. So let's see if we can get somebody else on the phone. We're going to call Veli on. Is Tim McKelvey here? If you're in the Zoom room, Tim, just type in the chat.
Please leave your message for 70.
How about dial them if they don't answer? Gotta get somebody on the phone.
Tim's here, by the way.
Oh, cool. So Tim, on these, the notes are very minimal. Just says, hey, asking price is X. Make sure that you have a chat with them before submitting them, and that you put some notes in there, preferably debt, preferably if they said yes to terms, all this opening call information.
Please leave your message.
All right, that person didn't answer. We got some more questions in the chat while I look up the next phone number, Stephanie.
Sure do. This is from Shabna. Shobna, do we need to remind the title company about FinCEN reg and how best to draft the deal, keeping that as reference?
Yeah, I would. I mean, definitely ask them about it. I would, assuming you are working with a competent title company and closing attorney, they darn well better know about it and be the one keeping in compliance. But yes, if I have a call with my attorney. If I'm you, I would definitely say, in your case, Shobna, I know you got a deal in Indiana about to go to close. On that initial call, when you're setting up for closing, I would say to them, hey, how is FinCEN going to affect this and what should I know?
And on that same note from Julio, what's a good company that you use for attorneys in all the states or most of the states?
Say that one more time.
What's a good company that you use for attorneys in all the states or just most of the states?
So good question. And we have a couple of companies that we recently updated to. One being, we have a great transaction coordinator, Julio, that is they pick the companies and they do a good job of it. And so that's one way that we do it. Secondly, we're connected. Since I do mainly Indiana and Kentucky, I have an Indiana attorney who's represented me for the last 11 years. He's our counsel for basically everything. And I have my favorite Kentucky attorney who works with us on basically everything as well. But when you're outside of those states, you would just have to reach out to my team and they would be able to turn you on to the national companies that many of our community are working with outside of those states.
Got it. You ready for one more?
Ready for one more.
This is from Irie, who's been joining us on YouTube for quite some time now. So yay.
Hello there.
Irie is asking, how long do you usually request for final payout using Bofslow with the owner? 7 years, 5 years? What's an optimal time frame and a tight minimum if there is one?
It's an awesome question. So something you'll hear me talk about, actually, I'm dialing Dale, Joe, and Judith's lead next in Oakland City. And something that you'll find. Who asked that question, Stephanie?
Irie.
Something you'll find. I talk a lot about this. This is so important. Everybody listening, you're going to want to note this down. The 3 paydays. That is the front. So we want to buy the property for as little down as possible, usually nothing down. Number 2 is the monthly cash flow, the difference between what you're paying the seller and what you're collecting in rent. And the third payday, which is how much equity you got. The third payday is if you bought a $300,000 house for $280,000, I mean, you got $20,000 of equity in the back end. If you bought a $300,000 house for $250,000, you got a bigger back end payday. So now the other paydays can be less stellar. When it comes to the balloon period, is what you're talking about. If a seller says, how long do you pay me off? The question the answer I always give is, well, normally we just term it out as a monthly payment till it's paid in full. In other words, life of the loan. But Andrew, what if they say no? Well, I guarantee you will never get what you don't ask for. So ask. Secondly, if they say, oh no, I need a balloon, I'll say, well, what's the longest you would give me? And if they come back, often they will. This is a very real scenario, guys. They come back and they say, hey, it's 10 years. I'll probably be okay with that. If they come back and they say, well, 6 months, I go, oh my gosh, like, no, that doesn't work. Might as well pay cash and we'll be back at a cash price. So let's get back to the balloon question. And then I re-engage. And the answer is as long as possible. And assuming it's just a traditional deal, a traditional Bofslow deal, I never like to go below 5 years. Now, if they gave me a bunch of equity, like Kay, we just negotiated a deal, and they gave Kay 40% equity, so we agreed to give them 2 years. Even though they wanted a shorter balloon, we went 2 years, and we wanted longer because we got 40% equity. So all 4 deal points affect the others, but as a generality, never go below 5 years. Good question. All right.
Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available.
Andrew on the Oakland City property.
Thanks, Andrew. Please stay on the line.
For all my crew on YouTube, if it's your first time here, put a 1 in the chat. If you've been here before, put a 2. I wanna see who my new crew is and shout you guys out. Got to get somebody on the phone. Let's see.
I've got another question for you if you're ready for it.
I got another answer.
This is from Jeff. If you sell on land contract with underlying bank finance, how do you insure the property?
If I sell on land contract with underlying bank finance, how do I insure the property? So I buy owner financing. So if I buy it, I get the deed, I get insurance on it. I named whoever the lenders are as additional insured. So if I buy a house from Lauren and Lauren has a mortgage to Wells Fargo, I would name Lauren as additional insured as well as Wells Fargo. If I am selling on lease option, which is what we do, we are going to have the homeowner's insurance as the real estate investor who holds the deed, who owns the property, and our tenant buyer is going to get a renter's insurance until they pay us out, at which point they'll get homeowner's insurance. Good question. All right, I'm gonna do one more dial, and if they don't answer, I'm gonna give you guys something that you're gonna love. Shift gears on something.
We've got Sean, who's new. We've got Naren, our newbies. James.
What's up, Jeff?
Mantra Girl.
This is Grant on Polster. Wait, I used to live on Polster Drive. That's my house.
Call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message.
We're going to double dial this guy.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Hey, it's Andrew calling you back about the house on Polstr Drive. When do you have a minute to talk? Okay, I gotta look at this. This is Steve. Shout out to you, brother. You send good deals. Now I'm sad I sold my property. I see they're asking 194, and I sold mine next to that for 125 years ago. This is actually, I believe, the house next to the one I used to own. That's
Small world, Andrew.
What's this small world? You're right. It may be two or three houses down, but I think that's the next door neighbor to what I used to own. That's incredible. Awesome. All right, I'm going to show you guys something, and I think you're going to get a lot of value out of this. I'm about to talk about vision, and I'm about to dial some more live sellers, but I want to point out, I'm going to talk about the funding before we wrap today because this is so important, and this is what keeps so many people stuck. Let me pull this up for you. I'm going to go here, and I want to go back to this. Some of you guys who have been around a bit, you've seen me do this, and I want to drive home the point. This is so important that anyone literally can get leads today. I am on Facebook Marketplace right now. I am going to type in a location, good old faithful, because I used to live here. I am going to type in house for sale by owner, and I'm going to go get us a couple cold leads that we'll dial before we wrap today. Who likes that plan? Yes? All right, let's see. I went to call in this house. It says seller is me. This must be one of mine. That's funny. All right. Hey there. Interested this property. By the way, all you OGs that are in the Zoom room right now, I challenge you, go do this right now.
I feel like your Claude could be doing this too.
It absolutely could. All right, we're going to do 2 of these, and then we're going to hop over.
She looks like she's being chased. with the audio off, she just looks like she's being chased. If this had like a black and white filter, it'd be a horror film.
Imagine. Let's switch it up. Let's go Owensboro, Kentucky.
So when you do this, how often do you have the Zoom room do this? Is this like a daily thing, a weekly thing, every hour?
Yes. You're right. AI now can do this for you, and for everyone who's on our recommended CRM, they actually get for sale by owners dumped in their CRM for them, with them. But I recommend checking this out, especially if you're in a reasonably populated area, at least 2 to 3 times a week. But if you're in like Louisville or something, heck yeah, daily. All right, we're gonna get somebody on the phone just cold off of nowhere. Nobody's talked to them.
Sending you good vibes, Andrew.
I appreciate it. Got to get somebody on the phone today. I'm going to need them. Holy cow.
Maybe you need to send them some coffee.
Hello, this is Becky. If you're calling about...
Hey, Becky. Call 812-573-0535.
Hello, please
Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Andrew on Sturbridge. All of these AI pre-screeners is something else.
There's got to be like some type of secret code, like up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, BA, start. You probably don't know that because you don't play video games.
You are correct.
Well,
somebody else put a question in. We got to get some
we
more
do.
energy up.
We have one. This is from
good.
James.
What's up, James?
Can I say it? Are you on the phone?
You can.
Oh, okay. Would you do this in the Vegas area or skip it for a few months and choose elsewhere?
I would first ask why you want to do Vegas. If it's because you live there, then heck yeah. If it's because any other reason, stick with the Midwest. In other words, if you're going to do virtually, do it in the Midwest. But if you live in Vegas and you want to stay close to where you are, then yeah, no downside to Vegas. Just don't expect to get the volume of deals that you might get in the Midwest. You can absolutely make a go of this in Vegas. We got a lot of people in Vegas. We'll expand our reach here. Call 270-929-4036. Which, by the way, is just real life since they're...
Hello, you have reached Angela.
Sometimes you'll dial for a while and nobody answer the darn phone. Call 270-929-4036. Who here thinks, though, that when you're calling people and they won't answer their phone, that might be a sign of a good reason the house ain't selling? I find that a lot of times the harder the person is to reach, they're not just hard for you to reach. And because of your willingness to chase them down, you get the deal.
No,
Hey, it's Andrew calling you about the house on Kipling. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I was interested in buying it. I had a couple questions. Did I catch you a good time?
Yeah,
Cool. What was your name?
Francisco.
Francisco. Francisco. You're asking 209 for the house. In my looking at the pictures, it looks like is it newly renovated?
Yes, sir. We just do the flipping there, so it's everything is looking like a new, show like a new.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. How long you had this one?
Probably for like 4 months, maybe.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, Francisco. So you're selling at 209. If we agreed on all the rest, the details, like what kind of flexibility is there on the price? I'm not a realtor, so there's no commissions or nothing.
Yeah. Are you interested in buying or?
Yeah, I'd be interested in buying the property. Yes.
Okay. Are you from Owensboro?
I lived in Evansville for years. I live in Louisville now, but I like Owensboro. I'd be buying it for an investment. Let me ask you this: Are you in a position, if we agreed on price and terms, that you could do some owner financing?
Not really at the moment, sir. I prefer to sell it, like selling right now, because I just got a company that I opened with a guy, and then we just need cash, to start doing the other property that we got now. So,
You want to sell it too?
yeah, I will sell the other one as soon as it's ready. But for now, we need some money to start putting on the other one.
Okay. Do you have a debt on this one, or is it paid off on Kipling?
That's paid off, sir.
Okay. How much do you need to work on the other one? Like if we could give you some of your money now and the rest later?
I don't know. I haven't taken a look really to see how much, but
Is it like a 20K rehab or like a 5K rehab or?
maybe more than that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you want to sell them as a package?
Maybe. If you give us a good price.
Okay. What's the address of the other one?
It's on 4th Avenue. You're interested in this one, I can come and show you, and then can start from there.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be my next step, but I don't want to, waste your time showing it if we're not the same zip code on how the deal would be done. I buy houses 2 ways. I pick up a handful, a couple deals every single month, and I either pay cash, at a deep discount, just like you're doing with the one you're about to flip, or I will pay, we wouldn't be far apart on what you're asking here, but I would want some time to pay you off on a deal cash sell. So I would need to know, before I drag my butt out there and have you drag your butt out there, if we're going to be able to get a deal done on payments or not. Would you be open if we gave you some money up front and the rest over time? Would that be a discussion worth having?
I don't think so, my friend, right now. Like I said, we really want to keep going with this thing right now. like I said, we just working on the other one, and we kind of like looking for the next one so we can kind of move money.
Yeah.
We're just a small company. We just started, so we're gonna do that.
So I don't want to waste your time or mine, and it's okay if you don't. Do you want to sell both of the properties? If maybe we could pay cash for the property that needs work, and then you finance this one to us, or should we just follow up in a few weeks?
Just follow me up in a few weeks, and then we
Perfect.
see.
All right,
Yes,
sounds
sir.
good. We'll talk to you in a couple. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, bye for now. All right, so someone to keep followed up. I see somebody who said that you talked to this guy.
Miss Joan.
Hello, Joan. She talked to this person. Put down and follow up with him in 2 weeks. The houses aren't moving like we want, and I want to point this out because this is a guy, for somebody who has the patience to do so. This is a guy who can be followed up with consistently, and this could turn to something. Because what happens is, and this is a normal flipper's problem, I want you to understand this. This guy has this deal. He has probably $150,000 of his cash or his partner's cash tied up in it. They just bought another house. Now he's in this death loop, sitting on this one, waiting on it to sell to make his profit, but got another one that needs rehab that he's sitting there, also paying taxes and insurance and the yard guy on that one. Well, it's March in Owensboro, so not paying a yard guy right now, but taxes and insurance and all of the crap working on the yard. And he has this going out to the tune of many hundreds of dollars a month, maybe a couple thousand. And every month that goes by, Joanne, he's getting another bill, another electric bill, another gas bill, another yard bill, another something else broke bill, another God knows what. It all happens. The taxes and the insurance keep rolling in. And he's going, crap, dude, I have to lower the price again. I've sat on this thing. What is it? I've sat on this thing for probably, let's see when he bought it. He bought it a year ago. So he's had this thing over a year. He's been sitting on it for a month trying to sell it. He's waiting to work on his other house. You come along. You are the answer to his prayer. And when he comes back finally and is willing to give you the information on his other property, you might buy the other property, give him a little bit of profit on top, buy it cash and resell it. And in return for taking that one off his plate for a small profit, he might finance this one to you. Because look at his options. He can take this property and keep sitting on it. Every month that goes by, another tax, another insurance, another electric bill, another gas bill, another water bill. Or, and when somebody comes, probably with an agent, that's probably what he's contemplating right now. Should I list it or should I not? Then he's got to pay 6% commissions. Then he's got to, let me see if this is a seller. Then he's got to pay 10% commissions. Then he's got to pay, 6% commissions. Then he's got to pay closing costs. Then he's got to pay inspections whenever inspections come back and they want a new range hood put in for whatever reason. All of these things start adding up. So he's probably going to walk away netting between 170 or 180 in today's market back in his pocket, minus what he has in the property, minus his repair costs and holding costs. So he's probably going to walk away with a net 20 or 30 in the end if he sells it with a realtor the traditional route. You are offering him to walk away instead with a net, let's say he's in it for 150. You're offering him to walk away with a net 50, but just over time and also not have to go, because he's probably thinking, I got to get in my work truck. I got to drive over to this other rehab house. I got to go work on it, just like I just finally got this one done. And he's dealing with this. Now, sometimes that's the business model, and that's what he wants to do. And if so, don't talk him out of it. That's fine. Francisco wants to rehab the house. Let him rehab it. But many times you will find that hot button and solve their problem, and the hot button only gets hotter every single week that goes by. So make sure you're following up with this guy. Know that you're doing him a huge favor if you're able to work this out and buy it from him. And free and clear are my favorite deals to do. All right. We're going to do some more live dials.
Hello. Hi, Andrew. I have a
Hello,
quick
it's
question.
Andrew calling you
cool.
back. You had
Hi, Andrew.
you had a house I was interested in buying.
Oh, what was his name?
Tim.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm Tim's partner. You have the house on David Bruce?
yes.
Awesome. You're asking 497.
Yes.
And can you kind of bring me up to speed? Is it investment or what's got you looking to sell? It was a personal home. What's the story?
Well, we listed this last year and we did not renew it. It was listed at 539. And then through the second listing, the same realtor reduce it. So let's reduce it to 524. So we had it for several months and we did not sell. There were some offers, but we did not accept the offers. They were very low. And so in November, my husband was diagnosed with terminal cancer.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry to hear that.
So we decided to just go ahead and sell it on our own. And we'll be moving once it's sold closer to our children. So I'll have help.
Yeah.
So that's the story. And we had upgraded. We have actually I put there, it's only over 100K. It's really over 200 as our upgrades. All the HVACs are just brand new. And we had it, we just received the home inspection report. And he was so surprised that for this year, this is almost 250-year-old home. It's pretty solid.
Why do you think it didn't sell in the time it was listed and the offers were so low?
Most of the people are looking for bigger lots. The lot is almost, if you round it off, it's almost 1.5 acres.
Mhm.
And you're buying for 2 homes, Andrew. There are not 2 homes, 2 buildings. The building is a little bit smaller than the main building. The main building is over 3,000 square foot. And I got one of the offers we had was trying to offer more, but they want to give us only half first so they can flip it. Because the second building, of the second floor, you can convert and put 2 or 3 rooms in it, bedrooms in it. Downstairs is, I don't know if you have seen the pictures on JLo?
Yes. And you got beautiful
Okay.
flowers, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I'm a master gardener. Thank you. But the barn, if you see the barn, is gorgeous. The second floor can be converted into 3 more bedrooms. There's water in there. And this used to be our bed and breakfast when we had our farm. And downstairs, that's where, the meeting, gathering place, and we have a wedding venue in the back. And when that person who offered from Florida said, okay, what's the comparison on the square footage? So we are below the average. I got within the 25-mile radius, within the periphery of Charlotte County.
Wrap up.
The
Sean said, do you have any tips on how to raise capital?
I did a lot of 281, and the average is 179 per square foot. Ours is only 161. And as I said, the quality of the building, you cannot buy it with that amount of money. It's really gorgeous, and we've been even featured in the magazines when we were still bed and breakfast. The provisions to convert this into bed and breakfast, there is a new condition now that because we did not live here when we had this as bed and breakfast, we were in the farm. Now a caretaker should live in the property, and that will be a great place there at the barn or the second floor for the caretaker to stay or the owner.
This. If we were to agree on everything, do you still have a mortgage on the house, or you already paid it off?
No, we still have. Yeah, we have.
Okay, about how much is left on it?
I think it's almost 200 still. Yeah.
How much is the payment?
It's almost 2,000.
And that includes taxes and insurance?
I think so.
Okay.
It's a VA loan.
If we was to buy it and
Mhm.
take over the debt, pay the $2,000 a month, and then pay you out your, between $200,000 and $300,000 cash to you whenever we resell it, would that be something that would work for you? We buy it now, close on it, take over the debt, and pay you out once we resell it down the line.
Okay, so how much is the total value of that then? So whatever
So-
our balance, did you pay us how much?
Yeah, so if we, let's say, well, let me ask you this. If we agreed on everything, I'm not a realtor, so no 6% commissions or fees, and I would pay the closing
Yeah.
off your side and mine. What's the least you would take on the purchase price? Is there a little flexibility on the total purchase price?
Yes.
Okay.
If you pay us cash.
So if we was to,
It takes 50,000, Andrew, hold your thought.
Mhm.
It takes 50,000 for us to move.
50,000.
And yeah. And it is what do you call this? We pay off our debt, and then and to buy the place where we'll be moving, we're just buying a box. We
Mhm.
cannot in
So if
order
we-
for us to,
If we was to agree on everything, would you do $450,000 purchase price?
no, we have even a better offer on that.
Okay.
No.
How,
Well,
how
that
close to that would you go?
489 is our lowest one.
489. Okay. So if we was to
So,
buy it,
so we have to remember it was already reduced to 42, down to 42,000.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of furnitures we had that we can convey.
so if we was
when we
to buy
agree the
it
price.
489 and put 50,000 down now to give you moving money, and then we take over the debt, and then we pay you out the remaining, what is that? Just over 200,000 when we resell it. That would work for you?
During the closing,
So we would buy the house, we would close right away, and in
Mhm.
a few weeks, whatever. And this is if we could, because I need to look at my numbers a little deeper. I'm just seeing if this would work for you.
Mhm.
If we gave you 50,000 down the day we close, it would be owner
that
finance.
will be the earnest money. You mean the earnest money?
No, that would be the down payment. So we would buy the house, we would give you $50,000 down payment, not earnest money, down payment. We would take ownership. We would be responsible for maintenance, repairs, taxes, insurance, and the monthly $2,000
no.
payment.
I don't think my husband will agree on that.
Okay, do you mind me asking
Yeah,
why not?
because we want the cash,
Okay.
and we want the cash because right away during the closing,
hmm
the whole amount of money we need. Yes.
Okay. Why do you?
And I'm not really worried right now, Andrew, because we had it advertised at Washingtonian Magazine right now.
Yeah.
Because before I only put it in Jello and Facebook, and there's a lot of people. I think the Tim has a 703 number. We used to live in Northern Virginia,
Mhm.
and a lot of Microsoft people wants to have a second home, and we're only 3 hours drive from Northern Virginia if you take the Easy Pass.
Yeah.
And
Well, let me
there's,
ask you this.
over
and
25
Forgive my interrupting. So
okay.
if I know, 2024 it didn't sell at 539, and then in 2025 at 524. How should we just give you a call back maybe in a few weeks or months and see? Because we could probably be in that 490 range with 50 down and taking over the debt, but we wouldn't be willing to, pay $250,000 cash to you up front.
No, that will be because we have another person over who is also a veteran,
Uh-huh.
and we're just waiting for him to, because he asked if he can assume the loan from us. It's a VA loan, and I don't know what he found out because he needs to ask the bank about that.
Yeah.
So what do you call this? What we need is really the cash because we really need a place to stay there.
Okay. That's
Um,
fair enough. We'll just put down and I so appreciate you taking time to explain everything because it looks like a great place, and
It is a great
would
place.
be better to
Yes.
just wait for the right cash out offer because we wouldn't be able to hit your number and be all cash. So we'll call back in a couple
Okay.
weeks and see if anything's changed. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Andrew.
Bye.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
All right. So, get to the conclusion. I share that with you because the objective there with that lady is to find out what she needs, and in this case, it's realizing that she's had it on the market for darn near 2 years and hasn't sold it. It's a very unique property. It needs a very unique buyer to be able. We're calling Judas lead now. Needs a very unique buyer to be able to come.
Andrew?
It is. How are you, Sandra?
Oh, it's okay. Everything's fine.
Good. Are we gonna make a deal on this house, or are you gonna keep it?
I don't know. It depends on I guess what you assess after you look at it. Did you say you want to look at it?
I do, but only after we agree on the terms. So you're what are we at on price now?
Well, seeing as how Taylor is up for 79,000, I think it was when I saw that on Zillow.
Mm-hmm. Did it sell?
I don't know. I didn't even pay attention to how many days it's been on there. So I think it's relatively new because I don't remember seeing it on there before.
Yeah.
Because usually I keep updates on that stuff, especially around that neighborhood. But was that 400 block of Taylor?
Let me ask you this. If we could agree on a price, us paying closing, we're not realtors or anything. Like, where do you actually want to be? Because I like you a lot. We should get coffee sometime, but I want to bring this deal to a conclusion and either buy the darn thing or whack it.
Buy it or whack it.
Yes.
Keep it or toss it. Keep it or toss it.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying. What
And now I've tore up the bathroom floor, like I didn't tear up the floor. I took all the carpet out of it that my tenant put in there, which was a disservice.
do you like genuinely, like, do you want to sell it or do you want to like keep it for a while and rent it? Because
Now that I started working on it, I was thinking of just keeping it because nothing seems to be panning out on what I want from it.
Okay.
Everybody else gets other houses what they want, but I don't seem to be able to do that with mine. So maybe it's a message from some superpower that I'm supposed to keep it for a while. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. If we was buying it as is in the 60s with 5,000 down and $350 a month over a certain period of time net in your pocket on top of taxes and insurance and maintenance and repairs, like, is that a discussion we should have or we should just toss it for now?
Toss it for now because I need more equity out of it than that.
Okay, that sounds good.
But you're a sweetheart. Maybe we can do some business in the future because I'm still getting older and you're not getting any younger either.
Nope, we're both heading the same direction.
Yeah, but you got a lot of years younger than me though, but still, yeah, we're not getting any younger. So, I mean, at my age, I've definitely got to think about doing something. But I'm definitely looking at options for, maximizing the most I can get out of it as far as rentals and stuff. So,
Yeah.
like professional stays, whatever, because it's not that far from the hospital actually, and it's close to a school, and it's a good, decent neighborhood. One of the better neighborhoods that I have of all the houses I've got. So
Absolutely. Okay.
Plus. You're
We'll talk
sweetie. You
it
have
for
a
now.
good day.
You too. Bye. All right. So that one, by the way, that was like the ninth. Shout out Judith. That was like the ninth follow up with that lady that Judith and I have had over the last however many. So that's why you heard me just name the numbers because I knew where we left off last time. And she's a master she's a sweet lady and she's a master at call me back. Let me decide next week. And you notice today, the first thing she wants to do is show me the house. And so understand. And again, I know like Judy, many of you know Judy. I love Judy. She's the type, she'd get in the truck, she'd go out there, she'd make friends with her, and she'd buy the darn thing. I don't have the patience, okay? I got more deals I'm going to go buy. I would just buy more leads. And if I still lived in Evansville and I wasn't hanging out, traveling and doing other things so much, I would do the same thing because it's fun. You get to connect with people and buy houses and get paid really well to do so. So, all right. Do we have any more questions before we wrap today, Stephanie?
I have a question. Oh, Andrew, do you know if you received Vanguard Vastand's lead that I sent in last week?
Who's talking?
Janet. Sorry.
Hello, Janet.
LaPearl.
I do not know, but I will find out.
Because I called him again just to follow up, and he said that you called him, and I thought, well, I gave it to Marilyn and just had her look at it for me, and then he said you called him. I was like, he did, because this was Friday. Friday afternoon, I was like, we did? So anyways.
Awesome. Resubmit it so we can get to it next week.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Way to go.
I don't know if you had a chance to answer this last time, but it was Andrew. Do you have any tips on how to raise capital? This is my first time on here. This is from Sean, YouTube.
So glad you asked that, Sean. So the 3 notes for today, I want to give you guys. Get ready to take some notes, and we're going to wrap with this. And by the way, for every one of you, Judith, the deal you just sent, Janet, the deal you just sent, just keep following up with these guys like a dog with a bone. They don't answer half the time, but I guarantee you after we're off of here, probably nearly every person I dialed and everyone I texted almost certainly will be calling back. And most of the time, by the way, when I'm dialing on here, just know, like, if it's your lead, run with it. It's your lead. And yes, sometimes if I'm sitting at the office and I have the video in a place where I will sometimes grab the CRM and grab that call and record it and then send it to whoever's it is. But they're your lead to make sure you grab it and run it across the finish line with either myself or your coach. So how do I know if it's actually a good deal? And that is that one of the 3 paydays is incredible or 2 of the 3 is good. What do I do when the seller says no? Whack the deal. You heard me doing that today because these guys is guys that we've talked to multiple times on those follow-ups. So you heard me be a little more open to whacking the deal a little quicker than I usually would. Versus whenever it's a first time, I'm not going to be that candid and that to the point when it's the very first dial we've had. So by the way, I want to show you guys something today. You know, a few weeks ago, I remember we had like 4 dials, negotiated like 4 deals. I think 4 contracts were ready to be sent out. It was incredible. And that's the way some days are going to go for you. Every deal is like, oh my gosh, everybody's just wants to sell me houses today. And then there's going to be certain days where it is like today. And you do yourself a great favor by getting to conclusions. Because a day like today, I could make myself feel more productive and I could have more longer conversations. Except the same conclusion is going to happen whether I stay on the phone. For example, who here could tell the house I talked to, that $500,000 house I talked to of Tim's lead, I complimented her on her flowers and she talked about the barn and the bed and breakfast. Who here could tell that she has a lot of emotional attachment to that house? Yes or yes? Everybody else notice that? So you realize from all that emotional attachment that she has to the house that you're not going to get anywhere, most likely, and unless you can meet her needs. And the reality says it's a year and a half of almost 2 years of her saying, no offer's good enough. The market's wrong. The realtor's wrong. Every buyer who's called her's wrong. They got outstanding offers that are incredible. They just haven't taken them yet because of et cetera, et cetera. And that, bless her heart, nice lady, but she's full of crap. She's not going to sell you the house. So what do we do? Not right now. We schedule to follow up. Now, unfortunately, during this period of time, you heard her husband has a very urgent and challenging health condition. And so our job as real estate investors is to not make bad deals. It's to be the answer to their prayer. And so one of 2 things that happen. Either she's right and one of the offers come through and they get $250,000 cash in their pocket and they live happily ever after and God bless them. They move closer to the kids and they get what they needed. Or 2, Tim is going to follow up in 2 weeks and 4 weeks and 6 weeks. And as things progress, time and circumstance changes every seller's mind and she's going to go, crap, I should just take the 50 I can get while I can get it from these guys. Now, without going too deep into the weeds of why I was open to even discussing the 50 down, is the reason that this is a very unique and cool property. And assuming it's somebody local, you could find the right buyer. This could be a very great cash flowing property. Like this could be huge for someone who wants to live in that area. But more on that later. We're not going to have time to get into that. So what if I don't have the capital? There is multiple ways to fund deals. And I want to point this out to you. You know what I see here? I see your lead, Janet. We will call that lead. I did call him on one of the daily dials back when we was doing those and did not get to have a chat with him though. So we'll wrap him before we wrap today. I know some of you guys have to hop. That's okay. Before we wrap today, I'll dial him and we'll see if he answers. So how do we get the money? Well, there is either A, you come up with it, meaning you raise private money, you write a check, you get a business line of credit, you have the cash, you have a retirement account, you come up with the money. That's one way that you come up with the money to close a deal if you need to. Now, there's another way to come up with it, and it's my favorite, and that is partners, private money partners. Why do I love Private Money Partners? Now, we got a lot of people in the community do private lending. Private lending is awesome. Seller financing is by far my favorite way above all. So you're going to see me. We structure deals. First choice is always seller financing. The seller be the bank, or there's already a debt, take that debt over. And then there's the world of coming up with the money. When I was starting out, I didn't have that ability. Now, of course, it's different. But there's business lines of credit. There's your cash. Every one of you should be seeing what kind of capital you have access to. And when you come hang out with us live at the event, we'll have some of our funding partners there showing you capital, business lines of credit, and access to capital that you have to your business or soon can have if you structure your LLCs and your businesses right. So business lines of credit, personal cash, all of those things. Next, Private Money Partners. We love partnering with our community. I know Judy just partnered with Sean on a deal. I know we partnered with Joe and Judith recently on a deal. I know many other partnerships that happen in the community. Chris, I think, just partnered with another community member. Private Money Partners, because the experienced partner will often write the check and the newer community member will bring the deal and they get to share in profits. It's a win for everybody. So how do we do that? Now, I could go down a list of ways to raise private money. I've raised private money in the past. I've done those things or created a slide deck. And we've, of course, talked about in great detail all of the ways to protect yourself and the private lenders and structure it in a way where everybody wins. Without going too into the technicals, just understand if you find a good deal and you offer someone else to be partner or funder of that deal, as long as it's a good deal, the money part is quite simple to figure out. If you can't figure out the money part, it's because either A, the deal sucks, or B, your presentation sucks. And so we'll talk more about that when we have time. So know that you're typing in the chat, my high income skill. This is what this whole deal room is about. How do we help you develop your high income skills? One of my high income skills is to review and look at the market. One of my high income skills is to be able to negotiate deals, single family house deals and bigger deals. One of my high income skills is being able to find non-refundable option deposits on my houses. And so when you build your high income skills, some of you, your high income skills is to run spreadsheets and to build an incredible PFS. For some of you, your high income skill may just simply be the opening caller for buyers or sellers. So learn your high income skills and lean into your high income skills and watch what begins to happen. All right. I know some of you have to hop. For the rest of you who want to hang around another 5 or 10, assuming this guy answers, we're going to call Janet's lead before we wrap today. That's what I'm talking about. That cash register. All right. Let's see if this guy answers, Mr. Vigard. South Hancock.
Hello.
Hey, it's Andrew calling you back about the Hancock Street house. How you doing? Hey.
I'm good. What's up?
Good. Hey, I think you talked to my partner, Janet. I was just connecting. Can you bring me up to speed on that deal? From my understanding, you built a new house already and you're looking to sell this one, and I didn't have all my facts straight yet.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm building another one.
Okay. You still live at this one, or you already moved out?
I rented this one out.
Got it.
Now I'm cleaning it up after the renter.
How much was you getting a month in rent?
$2,000.
Okay. And then the tenant moved out?
Yes, in December. I haven't been very aggressive. I've been just, having a few hours here and there. I could work on it.
Okay. And then if we was to agree on all the numbers, I'm not a realtor, so there's no commissions or none of that stuff. What's the least you would take on a purchase price on this?
$149.
You wouldn't take 148?
Maybe if you did some work for me, like maybe you took care of the closing or something like that.
Okay. And then typically if we're paying retail like this, we would be buying the house, closing with our real estate attorney, and then we would be paying you out over time. We'll become responsible for the maintenance, repairs, and taxes and insurance, and then pay you every month till we pay you off that 149 in full. Would that work for you?
Mm-hmm. To some extent, but that would have to be much more detailed.
Okay. If we worked out all those details, knowing that I would be, how much is your taxes and insurance?
I don't recall any of those numbers.
Okay.
I think taxes there are less than 2,000 a year.
Okay. Okay. So if we was responsible for the maintenance, repairs, the taxes and insurance, what's the least you would accept in your pocket every month until we paid you out the full 149?
I haven't even considered that number.
Okay.
Because I was just looking for 149 from a retail buyer.
Sure. So that number, let's see your tenant. Like, are you thinking like 500 a month, like 1,000 a month? Like,
I haven't considered that number.
okay. What would you consider?
Yeah, all of those numbers sounds very low.
So if we used to buy it in the high 140s, pay the closing, and then no commissions or fees. How soon would you be looking to get the thing wrapped up if we agreed on all those numbers? And
I'm not prolonging it unnecessarily.
okay. So like 30, 45 days?
Yeah, that
Okay.
that would be fine. I mean, every time I go in there and fix something up, if I do something major, I add to the price. That's how I do it.
So how do we come to a monthly payment number? Do you need time to think about it? Is that something?
Yeah, I would have to think about that, and I'd have to think about the sizable down payment also.
Oh, okay. Normally, if we pay retail and all closing and no realtor fees or commissions, normally we buy with nothing down.
Yeah, because I could handle all of those things myself.
You
I can handle all the closing documents myself. I've been writing deeds all of my life.
Well, we definitely close with a real estate attorney, so you and I are both protected. But you mentioned sizable down payment. Are you needing cash for something specific, or?
I'd like to pay off, so when I'm building something, I'd like to have enough to do the building.
Okay, and how much is that?
I'm spending 200,000, so
Oh shoot,
maybe,
this house don't cover you.
so I'd like to cover as much as possible.
Well, that might be a deal killer for us because, like I said, if we pay retail, we could probably get to your price or real close. We could definitely take it as is, pay the closing and all of that. But as far as the down payment, buying it as is and paying retail, we would like to be in with very little to nothing down.
Well, I would say don't consider anything less than a third.
Got it.
Yep.
So you would be looking for what is that? 50,000.
Something in that order.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. And you need that 50 for just to put toward what you're building, or?
Correct.
If we was to give you your price.
Otherwise, it wouldn't matter to me. Otherwise, I'd just fix it up and rent it again,
Yeah. What if you did this? What if you done a refinance? You pulled out 100,000 in cash. I can hook you up with a lender. You put that in your pocket, tax free, I might add. I'm not a CPA, so but that's my understanding of how that would work for you. You put it in your pocket, tax free, and then we just buy it for the 149 and take over that new debt, cover all those payments for you. Where you could have 100 in your pocket, tax free up front, and then we could also pay you off over time, and we both win. How does that sound to you?
You're close to something that might work.
Yeah. Okay. What would you like my next steps to be?
Well, right now I'm going into an appointment. So how about if we talk about this tomorrow?
Perfect. I'm going to have my partner give you a call. Janet's going to give you a call tomorrow, and we'll continue this discussion and see, either we'll work it out as a win-win or we'll part as friends, and either way is okay.
Either way is fine.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it. Have a good appointment.
Okay.
Bye for now.
Bye.
All right, Janet, note to follow up with him tomorrow. So, by the way, that was a good way to end this segment. Any questions you have, put them in the chat. I want to point out something though. So what I just done there, and I need you guys to understand this. Type it in the chat. Become the connector. Become the connector. Guys, by being part of the Truca community, you have access. You have connects. That's why at the live event, we fly in one of our, one at least, sometimes two or three of our lenders who do this type of thing. Why? Because you, Marlon, be on a call with this guy, Janet be on a call with this guy, and the guy goes, no, I need X cash. Well, why do you need the cash? Solve their problem. So notice, we're not going to give him $50K down on this $150,000 house. Heck no. But I'm 100% okay with him going down to the bank, to our lender that we connect him with, refinancing it out, and us taking over his $100,000 debt, and then agreeing to pay him out the remaining whenever we resell it, as long as there's no balloon. So if we solve the problem, you get paid in direct accordance to the size of problems you solve. All right, Stephanie, do we have any more questions, my friend?
We sure do. Let me grab this up for you. Okay. This is an interesting one. What do you do when you're looking for wholesale deals and everyone wants to sell at a market price?
So there is a phrase that you'll hear me say: outbound dial by the thousands or inbound dial by the dozens. And what I mean by that is, if you are wanting to wholesale deals, in your case, Bobslow is my favorite. Number one, more tools means more deals. So, 2/3, 3/4 of our deals are going to be Bobslows. And that smaller number, 25 to 35%, are going to be the cheap cash deals that we might sometimes wholesale. So if you're only wholesaling, understand you limited your window, but either you're going to call tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of people who want all retail and all cash for their properties, outbound dialing them like crazy, or you're going to buy expensive inbound leads that are expensive, but are motivated sellers because they just Googled or called on I buy houses cash or how to sell my house fast or whatever the thing may be. So number one, I would make sure I'm not solely focused on one median. I would add tools to my tool belt. I would offer payments over time or cash way below value. And then number two, as soon as you're proficient on the phone, and I don't know if you're new or experienced, as soon as you're proficient on the phone, I would absolutely start buying some leads. I'm not talking about big budgets of $10,000 a month if you're new, but I'm talking about if you can put $500 a month toward buying some leads, then do it. Again, as long as you're proficient on the phone. If you're not yet proficient on the phone, go call Zillow and Facebook Marketplace and do all of those outbound free dials until you get proficient on the phone. Then start buying leads, because at that point, it's just math when you have motivated sellers calling you. So awesome questions. Good proficiency on the phone, quality leads.